Good afternoon. A couple of weeks back, we interviewed a couple who seemed to be, finally, wrenching themselves from the quagmire that unrivaled luxury can bring. They're back. And we're very glad, or as an obnoxious modern-day presenter might say, super excited to have them. Meghan, Harry.
It's great to be back. Thanks for having us. So warm and friendly here.
Great to be back.
Well, first things first. Don't you two own any other clothes? I jest, of course. But on a more serious note, Oprah has recently confessed to Ellen DeGeneres that she's never really cared about any of her celebrity guests. Knowing this, would you have done the interview with her? Would you have given her that exclusive first interview instead of, say, me?
Well, I think what Oprah was saying were some of her guests, or at least that's what she meant to say, right? I don't think she was including us in that category.
It's hard to believe. Very hard to believe.
You know, we have a pretty special relationship with Oprah, so I would have thought she's most probably referring to some of the awful people she's had to interview over the years. I mean, Donald Trump, for instance. For example, Donald Trump.
Yes, but considering you don't really know her, or rather you've only become acquainted with her since your engagement to Harry, your previous fame seemingly insufficient to warrant any interest from her, why the deep trust?
Well,
It's not about knowing her in the traditional sense. It's a deeper, more transcendental connection, like a chiming of souls. So the union we have is immediate and deep.
Well, you must put quite a hefty premium on that somewhat esoteric and nauseatingly ambiguous definition of a mystical connection to invite her to your wedding when you'd never met before, instead of, say, your father.
I do, and I think it's important to view our wedding day as less of a union in marriage and more of a pageant to the gods of Wokeism by inviting all its most prominent disciples, which we did, and we amassed them in a huge congregation that got inside the royal gates. I think that's important. I think that sends a strong message.
very strong. It's a very strong message, actually.
Okay, but just back to Mr. Markle for a second. How does failing to invite him to your wedding, ostracising him and keeping him away from his grandchild, square with your endless preaching about compassion, forgiveness, understanding?
Yeah, well, he started it. You know, he was the one getting measured for a suit and telling the paparazzi so they could get photo shots of him doing it, getting measured up for the suit, for the wedding. We didn't even invite him to. You know, he asked for this. He was nasty to my Meghan. He upset my Meghan. She's amazing. Upsetting Meghan's the most unamazing thing you can possibly do in your whole life. No, I've got a bit passionate there, actually. Can we go again?
No, we can't really do that, Harry. I mean, we did agree one take. We want to show the people at home the real Harry and Meghan.
Oh, no, but it makes me look stupid.
I don't think you really need to worry about that anymore, Harry. You know, some ships have sailed and all that. There have been what I can only describe as revolting rumours saying that certain royal insiders have told you to go on and get on with your lives. How do you respond to those who say you simply won't quit your tireless complaining?
Who is actually saying that? I can't believe it. I mean, it's so unfair. I knew this would happen to us.
Okay. How about a maturer, slightly more sophisticated, but no less odious response?
I mean, the more I hear stories about it, the more I feel sorry for them. I think, are they so self-absorbed and vengeful that they see our safe space truth-seeking sessions as so offensive they have to hurl abuse at us? I mean, and that's wrong, right?
Well, Meghan, it's certainly one of the two.
Ha ha ha, very good.
I'd like to come to the most serious point of today's issue, really, the most sensitive point. Some are saying that you two have got questions to answer about your deal with Procter & Gamble, who have as one of their products a skin whitening cream.
No, I can answer this one. You know, I'm not too good with words and things. So you know, when I read the contract and I researched the products that Procter & Gamble were known for, I actually thought it said skin unwhitening cream. You know, I put in an un when there wasn't even one. Ah, Meghan, that rhymed.
Yes, very good, Harry, not now.
Oh, so you thought it was a skin darkening cream?
That is actually what unwhiten means, so I'm starting to wonder whether you're the sharpest tool in the box. Only joking.
Hilarious. Is that true, Meghan?
did you believe that it was a skin unwhitening cream? And if so, wouldn't that have also been a problem? You know, just racism the other way. Well, actually, the definition of racism is bound up in the civil power structure, so your use of it was inaccurate based on the findings of recent social studies papers that have no citations or peer-reviewed recommendations. Also, white supremacy is quite a serious issue, so maybe some skin unwhitening cream might be useful in trying to quell those fires.
Wow! You're a genius. I mean, you're a true genius. You absolutely and totally typify a prevalent movement. And you've latched yourself on to a senior-ish royal, causing a classic clash of frontiers. With you, Meghan Markle, emerging as a thought leader. You are the perfect fruiting body of an awoken bouquet.
Well, I'm the root.
You sure are, Harry. You sure are. Madame Tussauds, the famous Waxwork gallery in London, have recently moved your statuettes from the royal section to the Hollywood section. How does that make you feel, Harry?
Look, I'm not going to rise to the occasion. My awareness of mental health is actually quite extreme, I'd say. You know, I'm basically a mental health professional, you know, fully qualified at losing my own mind. And, you know, basically I found out everything that's right and true from Meghan. I mean, she's amazing.
I just like to say to myself, that's okay, right? You know, I'm confident and I feel safe in my space, you know? I know what's best for me. So exactly where they put my waxwork in Madame Tussauds is not really on top of my priority list right now.
You said they might as well have made a waxwork of Susan Boyle and plonked us there.
No, Harry, I don't remember saying that at all.
Oh no, I remember, because I thought it was so random that you said Susan Boyle, and I remember saying, why Susan Boyle?
It didn't happen, Harry. Okay, I don't think that's important right now.
Oh, that's not very important right now, actually. It's not important at all.
Oh, so there was some bitterness then, Meghan, rendering your previous statement and all the confluencing sentiments bound up in it entirely fallacious. You actually did care that they moved you from a more to a less prestigious category in the gallery.
I think it was because we have a very special relationship with Madame Tussauds. Well, had. I mean, this feels like a betrayal. In fact, we had a lovely date there, Harry and I, after they made our waxworks. I mean, otherwise, what's the point of going?
Indeed.
Oh, it was so funny. Oh, God, my God, we laughed so much. Because after the date, I actually went home with a wax version of Harry. Oh, my God, we laughed so much.
Oh, did laugh. It was amazing.
Yeah, but then a few days later, I realized, and I got my real Harry back.
I'm surprised you didn't notice a little sooner than that.
What do you mean?
Oh, for Christ's sake, she's not Superwoman.
No, what I mean is, surely with a heart as warm as yours, Meghan, that any wax version of Harry would have melted the minute you two unified in a tender embrace.
Aww.
Oh, yes, very nice, very nice. Amazing, actually.
So you're in the Hollywood section now with the real celebrities.
Yeah, I think we're where we belong.
Yeah, celebrities, and not just royalty. I mean, celebrities earn their fame and success, unlike royalty, who've just given it from birth on a silver platter, and that's totally unamazing.
But Harry, and you, Meghan, would either of you have the fame you currently have had Harry not have been a member of the royal family? I mean, do you offer anything in the free market of ideas, services and products?
Oh yes, we've got a whole load of skill with mental health. In fact, so much skill I'd say that we'd have been picked up whether we were royalty or tramps on the street, actually.
Okay, well, fair enough. What is it about mental health that you know that others don't?
Well, I'm not too good at the specifics.
It has been said, Harry, that too much therapy is bad for a person. Are you concerned that this constant looking inwards will, instead of liberating your soul and bringing great happiness, will actually drive you into a perpetual loop of self-absorbed analysis that will in the end discolour the vivid lights of reality?
No, and I thought about it quite a lot, actually, in those precise terms, in fact. But no. Meghan says no.
I do say no, because I think you can actually discover new alternate realities by looking inwards towards your soul and, you know, spending some time there and finding some peace. And from that place of inner peace, I think it's possible to guide others to the same place, the same peace.
Yes, Meghan, but doesn't an alternate reality equate to a false reality? You know, therefore, not true.
See, I think that duality you've just posed is in itself bound up in the patriarchal, white supremacist intellectual superstructure. And I think it's used to upset the gods of wokeism.
Oh, you don't want to upset them, I can tell you. I once dressed up as a Nazi.
Oh, Harry just says things sometimes.
I used to spend far too much time being happy to concentrate properly on my mental health. You know, mental health awareness of mental health.
You said something recently, Harry, that considering you now live in America as your permanent residence, has some serious ramifications. You said that the First Amendment was bonkers.
He actually meant the Second Amendment.
I mean, owning a gun, what, to protect themselves? I mean, these people really are bonkers. I mean, some of them think the government can't be trusted. I mean, and they give these people guns, they let these people buy guns. Oh my God, that is bonkers.
What would you say, Harry, to those Americans who find it atrocious that a member of the royal family visits a former colony and then ridicules their declared amendments of freedom, in this case, the right to bear arms?
I know, and the right to free speech.
Harry?
I always knew it was the First Amendment I was talking about. Meghan was just trying to protect me. You know, she's amazing. I always knew I was referring to freedom of speech. It's bonkers.
Harry, not the correct moment.
Did those founding fathers not realise what meanies they were being? I mean, did they not know that free speech can bring around really bad hurt feelings? I mean, really hurt feelings.
Prince Charles and Prince William are both said to be deeply hurt about the newest grenades you've lobbed over the castle walls, in the form of yet more complaint. Do you regret that at all?
Being brought up a royal was completely unamazing. So rigid, you know. So unable to adapt to modern times and let go of long exhausted traditions that are mostly bound up in racism and sexism, stuff like that. That came out pretty good, didn't it, Meghan?
I could feel the truth emanating from it. I mean, it hit me like a wave.
Meghan, are you concerned that Harry's going a little bit too far with all this?
No, I think Harry's got a lot of potential, and he's finally starting to show that now. And being completely and entirely upfront about your weaknesses, right? Makes you a much stronger person, I think. And that's exactly what Harry's doing.
Oh yeah, you know, I'm a strong man. Very alpha male.
Which is evident, Harry. But how do you respond to those who say your current round of mudslinging is going to make a reunion with your family impossible? The damage done irreparable?
Look, I'm sure they'll come round. They'll finally realise one day, I'm sure of it. If they just spent half an hour with Meghan, literally just half an hour, and would be quiet and actually listen, they could really learn a lot.
Oh, I see. So you believe that a future revival of your familial circumstance is going to come about via a complete capitulation of tradition on their part, and then a full embrace of your excruciatingly vague newspeak and its fruiting ethical framework?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think they'll come around. I've been saying to Harry for quite a while now, just give them time, you know? I think if you give them time, they'll realize that a new day is dawning, and it's really up to them whether they want to play a positive role in it or not.
It must be wonderful to have instant access to the true answer to all things, Meghan.
And it's a burden, too, you know? It's not easy. You become a target for criticism, you know, an object of hate.
Of course. I was just about to say that despite this endowment of crystal clear clarity on all things moral, you are a victim even in that.
I don't know how she does it.
It's as though some people think I'm just making this stuff up, that I'm just spouting purposefully meaningless and subtly destructive platitudes, or that I'm trying to sound wiser and cleverer than I really am, or that I have very meager life experiences or qualifications to tell other people how to live their lives or be happy.
Incredible, that.
Oh, and completely horrid too. I mean, it's so unfair. I mean, what's Meghan ever done but go around trying to help people and offering them advice they didn't ask for? I mean, some people are still wasting their lives trying to be happy or achieving things instead of properly concentrating on their mental health.
It's a more common problem than you might think.
Oh, so you think it's mainly happiness and achievements that get in the way of mental health awareness?
Yeah, significantly so, I'm afraid.
Yeah, they're actually the two biggest obstacles, I'd say.
We're going to end this interview by going right back to the beginning, when you were still active members of the royal family, still living within castle grounds. Accusations have arisen, Meghan, that you were a little bit of a bully to some of the staff, that you'd speak to them condescendingly, and that you, Harry, are quoted to have said, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets."
You know, that's out of context, way out of context. I can't exactly remember why or how that's out of context, but it definitely is. All I said was that Meghan must get what Meghan wants. I mean, maybe you've got to know her deeply enough to know why she must get exactly what she wants. Most people don't even bother to take the time because they're completely unamazing.
Well, I'm shocked that anyone would accuse me of being a bully. I'm quite hurt. Actually, it's quite hurtful. Look, if I've ever used a sharp tongue, or do ever use a sharp tongue with anyone, it's because I'm acting on instincts that go above the level of the cleaner people and the bed makers. And, you know, if they slow me down or get in my way, they're doing a lot of incremental damage to the people I'm not helping. So under those circumstances, yeah, I think a few moments of aggression is quite acceptable, actually, yeah.
It wouldn't even make a difference if she really tore into one of them. I mean, really laid in, nailed them. It really wouldn't make a difference because her reactions would probably be proportionate to what's required. I mean, her instincts for social justice, second to none.
Oh, so it's quite acceptable to be aggressive if it's for a larger, overarching cause that the troglodytes below you can't see? I mean, it's a lot of responsibility. I mean, I've lost a lot, right? I've suffered.
You're safe here, Meghan.
I mean, I see problems and incidences of bigotry everywhere. I mean, even in places where there clearly aren't any, I still see them. I mean, do you know what it's like living that life? Do you know what that's like? Do you know how hard that is? A soul so sensitive that you can see problems that aren't even there. And the riffraff of the palace gave you back chat.
I know, can you believe it?
Hardly, Harry.
See, Meghan's a big problem solver, not the little ones. I mean, she actually solves the problem of hatred and intolerance around the world by showing love on the world stage.
Like the overtly ostentatious and over-the-top displays on camera when greeting children or sycophantic fans.
Exactly. And then the people, the petty people, they want to nitpick about the way Meghan actually treats the weaker people around her, which she treats amazingly, actually. But she could treat them like horse manure. Wouldn't make a difference. It'd be for a bigger bloody purpose. Oh, sorry, I got a bit emotional there and I swore. I do apologise.
We'll let you off that one, Harry. But I will ask, why is it that you two don't extend the same level of tolerance to your families that you insist that everybody else should extend to theirs? Mr. Markle, for instance. I mean, couldn't you be tolerant of his weaknesses and mistakes?
Who's intolerable?
Yeah, but it's slightly different when you've got the weight of responsibility on your shoulders that I have. I mean, if people disturb me, then the fixing of the world stops happening. So I can't really be expected to tolerate people close to me if it means putting the fate of the world at risk. I mean, I'm not that selfish, no way.
Well, if you want to make an omelette, you've got to break some eggs.
I think that just about sums things up perfectly, Harry. Well, all there is left to do is to thank you both for coming in and showing us the state of the gooey yolks that exist inside the eggs that sit on top of your necks. I think Harry might be a double yolker. Thanks for listening. Join us again next time.
I tell you what, don't go to that barber's, but do subscribe or don't subscribe. Do like or don't like. Make sure you hit the notification button, unless you don't. Thanks.